They think they can get away from cheesy 90s movies.
This is gasoline.
But they didn't count on Jean Claude Van Damme.
Does he have any other relatives? Anyone else that could possibly help?
You gave up your family when you joined the Legion.
I never give up my family.
He's trained to show off his sweet moves. Now he's showing off for the month of June.
Just tell her Joshua's here with somebody I think she'd like to meet.
Sure you want to mess up that face, handsome?
Lionheart! King of the jungle!
They think he's a joke.
Hey, I got 3-1 against Lionheart.
But JCVD isn't laughing. Welcome to the ultimate month of Van Damme.
That's him, a born killer, not some bum we picked off the street.
Well, this dude's already back. 8 bodies.
I'll beat the guy I have to.
The movies are stupid.
There's no rules.
The plots don't matter.
What I did tonight, I did for my family.
If JCVD wins, we all win.
Now what's it gonna be?
If JCVD loses, psych! JCVD never loses. Welcome to Jean Claude Van Damme.
Welcome, everybody. It is Jean-Claude Van Damme. Every year, we spend a week in June talking about the muscles from Brussels, the 80s action star himself, Jean-Claude Van Damme. And this month is no different. We're going to have a ton of fun. We've got really cool movies on the docket today. I am joined, as always, by my fantastic panel of nerds. Matt Vader's here. What's up, dude?
Hey, man. I'm afraid we're going to run out of movies.
No. You know how many movies this guy's been in?
Yeah, but some of them are like straight up unwatchable.
That's even better.
And he keeps making more.
I know. Weird.
There's one on Netflix right now. I just saw it. It's not the mercenary one, but there's another new one. And I was like, oh, shit, I'm going to watch that. He's out there, dude. You got plenty to work with. Yeah. We could even do the Expendables because he was the big bad villain in that one movie.
Just the Expendables part 2.
Yeah.
I mean, if
Jude is also here.
Thank you. If we do end up running out of all of his movies, I mean, it might be time to switch to Steven Seagal September.
Oh, God.
Jesus Christ.
Hell no.
But what about Jean-Claude?
if we have completed our journey with him, we can go back and re-review them.
Doesn't he have like 80 movies under his belt? 80? If we do 3 once a year, I think we got
How long do you think we're going to do this podcast?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, we're gonna run out of juice before we run out of Jean-Claude
I'm probably
movies.
going to start doing my own solo thing, leave the band behind, go platinum.
The man behind the curtain, Matthew Kadish. Welcome, sir.
I am always happy to talk about Jean-Claude Van Damme. He is one of my personal heroes. Some of the greatest 80s and 90s movies came from this gentleman, and he's still rocking it today in his 60s. So we gotta give props to the muscles from Brussels, JCVD, and I can't wait to talk about these.
Oh, that's a quote from Bloodsport.
Wow,
Everybody was a big man.
I put on Kadish's Bloodsport shirt today, and I tied it to try to make it fit
Didn't
me.
work.
And it was I looked like a linebacker in the shoulders, and I was like, I'm just gonna put on my plucky sidekick one.
Nice. I had a blast with these movies.
I'm so glad.
Like they were so fun, especially the hockey one.
Yes.
We'll get into it.
Yeah,
so the 3 movies on our docket today are Death Warrant. It's basically Bloodsport in a prison. The next one is Lionheart. It's basically Bloodsport on the streets of LA. And then the last one, which is our favorite one, I think I can say that now, it's our favorite one, is Sudden Death, which is Die Hard in a hockey rink.
Yes.
And it's freaking incredible, and I can't wait to talk about it.
Me too.
So thank you guys so much for joining us. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back, and we're going to get into Death Warrant. All right, we'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. All right, first movie on our list is Death Warrant. Jude, take it away.
All right, sir. I'm going to give you the synopsis for Death Warrant in just a second. But first, if you're poor and you don't want to give us any money, that's totally fine. I'm poor too. But do us a favor, and however you're enjoying the show, you're already here either watching or listening, just scroll down right where you are right now while you're watching or listening and hit whatever you see, whether it's a thumbs up or 5 stars. Hit the 5 stars or hit the thumbs up. That's all. It's free. And then it just takes like a couple of seconds and you're done. But if you're a Richie, we like you.
If you're a Richie?
Yeah, if you're a Richie and you have money and you want to spend it on us, we love that. We'll take your money for sure, and we'll like you even better than the poors. So if you want to sign up for the club, go to saltynerdclub.com. You can join the Patreon, become a saltine, and we'll even give you some stuff. We're going to give you 4 extra episodes per month, and we're going to let you do fun stuff with us, like trivia and chat with us in Discord and tell us what you want us to watch. And now, 1990 Death Warrant, rated R, the runtime of 1 hour, 29 minutes. This had a budget of $6 million. What do you think this brought into the box office worldwide?
I don't know.
$12 million.
What's the budget?
6.
Yeah, that's a good bet. I'm going to go 15.
Okay. So I will tell you that this made $16 million domestically, but worldwide, this made $46 million. Wow. Yeah.
Nice.
He's huge in Portugal. Portugal.
Too much Chuck?
Portuguese.
Are you from that porky country? What's it called?
You know, the Porkins. The Porkaginians.
Jesus Christ.
That's a hard word.
So we should probably let the audience know that in this movie, what's the hooch called?
Pruno.
Pruno. So basically in Death Warrant, the prisoners make, prison hooch called Pruno.
Uh-huh.
And Matt Vader 74 is about 2 glasses into our own version of Pruno.
Yeah. He brought us over some $2 Chuck to represent the Pruno on today's show. It looks just like it.
Yeah, it tastes just like it too.
Oh, yeah.
It is good.
I might prefer the Pruno. this wine.
The prison toilet water.
What kind of wine did you bring? He goes, red? Just says red.
Red.
That's what it tastes like.
Where is it? Right?
It definitely tastes like a color.
Tastes red.
Red blend. There it is.
You ready for the synopsis?
Yeah, go. Yeah.
All right.
I'm so fucked up right now.
Already? Jesus,
Even
just
had a
started.
glass.
I had nothing but
I blame the carne asada.
carne asada. It's fermenting in my belly right now.
It's turning into a whole new beverage.
It's like curdling in your gut.
Uh-huh. All right. Tough cop Louis Burke just bagged the Sandman. So when the governor wants Harrison Penitentiary cleaned up, he puts Burke inside undercover to find out why there's so many murders going on there. Lady lawyer and no girl Friday, Amanda, is posing as his wife. So obviously, in between making the case, they have to make a conjugal. Upon his entry into the prison system, there's a weirdly thorough medical exam and questionnaire, but I'm sure that's just a normal safety procedure. But uh-oh, Armin Shimmerman is selling the prisoner's organs on the black market. Surely he's cooked up this scheme on his own. But uh-oh, prison guard Art LaFleur is in on it. And this goes all the way up to the Attorney General, who needed a new liver for his wife. He can't risk his secret operation, get it, operation, getting exposed, so he's got to silence Burke the prison way. When Burke turns out to be too wily for the run-of-the-mill prison goons, Attorney General Vogler gets a top-notch goon transferred to the prison who will surely give Burke a run for his money. Someone who's got a personal stake in shutting Burke down. Enter Sandman.
I didn't like this movie that much.
Oh, it's terrible.
It's so bad. Mm-hmm. And it was so, like...
But it's laughable.
Yeah.
Like, the second they go to their conjugal... Okay, so the first time we meet Amanda, and she gives him that eyebrow at the table, I was like, they're gonna fuck.
Oh, yeah.
And then she's like pretending to be his wife, and they got to make it look good, so they set up a conjugal visit, and like he comes in, she's like, let me tell you about the case, and he just starts making out with her from behind, and she's like, yeah, let's fuck.
Well, hold on. The funniest part about this is, like, first of all, she comes to visit him in prison, pretending to be his wife, and he's like, you're going to get me killed dressing all nice like that. And so like he keeps telling her to like, slut it up to make it believable that she'd be his wife.
I think he's telling her to slum it up.
And like she just keeps showing up in like really nice clothes.
Yeah, she comes in like in a sweater with like a collared shirt underneath. I was like, yeah, that's the shittiest stuff she owns.
And then for the conjugal visit, so right before he goes to see her, like he's like naked and beaten up and like solitary confinement, and the guards are like, get yourself cleaned up. And so like literally like 2 minutes before like he has sex with her, like he's like in pain and stinky and gross and like has been like in solitary for like 3 weeks. And it was just a very odd jump there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's a lot of odd jumps in this. Like
She gets hotter the farther the movie goes along.
for sure. Because she gets to know Jean-Claude more.
Well,
See, the closer you are to Jean-Claude.
Her hair was like tied up in a bun to show that she's very like
Prude.
wound tight. Yeah, she's
Very,
high strung.
very lawyerish.
Yeah, and then like the more she meets Burke and she starts getting like bad influence
She
by him.
lets her hair
She
down.
lets her hair down.
She gets all thirsty.
She eats pizza at one point. And he's like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I'm just having dinner."
Also, she has like an underage hacker who like keeps like macking on her.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And she keeps leading him on.
Oh,
to
that was
get him
so
to do that.
creepy.
Oh my god, he's like got one hand on the keyboard and one hand ready for her tit.
Yeah, but he's how old was he?
I don't know.
He was in high school.
16.
It was gross. I was like, well, this ain't right, dude. You can't do that shit.
What are you talking about?
He was way too young.
It was the 90s.
Why?
Yeah,
I know,
This
but
was filmed in '89.
I am.
Dude, you're like 22 now. You don't remember what it was like to be 17?
That's what I'm saying. How old was he? Because he didn't look 17, 18 to me.
16? You're a walking hard on when you're 16 years old.
It is known.
I guess. I'm just glad she didn't give him the time of day, but I was just like, Jesus Christ, kid, fucking tone it down.
She's just got to look at him with those come fuck me eyes, and he's going to get it.
You guys remember that that Baldwin movie that we watched with what's her face, the actress who was like a model or something like that? She goes to the computer programming place.
With the Lester Baldwin?
Lester Baldwin, yeah. She's like, do you have a hard drive?
Cindy Crawford?
Cindy Crawford,
Yeah.
yes.
And then they fuck on the train,
Yes.
and it's not sexy at all.
Yes. That's what this movie reminded me
The
of.
whole scene is just his ass.
Yeah, you're talking about Fair Game, right?
Fair Game,
yes,
thank you.
that's
Yeah,
it.
Fair Game. That was a ridiculous movie, but just the whole.
He's the mid-range Baldwin.
This movie had such a hard time going from point A to point B. It was just so like drastic and sudden. Like, okay, we're an undercover cop. Now we're a prison movie. Now we're a sexy movie. Now we're Street Fighter in prison. And
It
like
has something for everyone.
it was
And he's not just an undercover cop, all right? He's an undercover member of the Mounted Royal
Yeah,
Police.
he's a Mountie.
He's a Mountie.
And at the beginning of the movie, you think that he kills this Sandman,
Right,
which is
yeah.
this criminal that he's been
Yeah.
tracking down, and he makes the case. The next day, he walks into the police station, and it's like he's the mayor. He's shaking hands and kissing babies the whole way
Yeah,
through to his
and
desk.
he's got that sweet suit on.
Oh yeah.
That was 18 months later.
was it?
Yeah.
Was he still a celebrity? I don't know. From
That's
catching
just
that one day?
every
I thought it went
day.
18 months
He
later,
walks
didn't
in on his Monday, and everybody's like, "Thank God you're here."
Jean-Claude's here.
Well, you know, the movie starts out where he's on the case chasing the Sandman.
Right.
And he knows he's in that warehouse. And the radio comes over.
He killed my
Hey,
partner.
hey,
I'm
Canadian,
not going to wait.
Don't go in there by yourself. You're supposed to wait for backup. I can't wait to do the backup. It's like, fuck
I'm not
you.
waiting, you
Fuck
whore.
you guys. I'm Jean Claude Van Damme. And then, so, of course, he goes in
Yeah.
there and kicks his ass. And
But so I have a question because this legitimately threw me off when I was watching this
trying
movie.
to do his best Bruce
He
Willis
shot the Sandman like 7 times,
Oh, yeah,
right?
like 1,800 times in the chest.
In the chest.
He's
And
the
then
Sandman.
as far as the audience is concerned, the dude's gone.
Yeah.
And there's never any hint.
When he comes back at the end of or like midway through the movie, I legit was like, did this just turn into a ghost story?
I was like, he's dead. Why is he back? Like
Is he undead?
They'd left no train of evidence whatsoever for the audience to believe that guy survived his altercation with Jean-Claude.
Well,
and I'm
okay.
like, that it was just a failure on every part of this movie.
Upon rewatch, it doesn't say like, enjoy your coffin or whatever. He just says, you're under arrest. But you still think he's dead.
Fucking dead.
Oh, yeah, he has to be
They
dead.
also established that the Sandman's incredibly hard to kill.
Yeah, he's the Sandman. Can't kill the Sandman.
He did at the end of the movie.
Right after he said, "You can't kill me."
Yeah, well, he's sitting there. He's got like spikes through him or some shit. He goes up against the wall, right?
Got a hook through the back of his neck.
Yeah, he's all fucked up, and he's like, "You can't kill me!" Ha 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 ha! And then Jean-Claude spin kicks him in the face, and he dies. And I'm just
Death
like,
by spin kick.
Yeah.
but death by spin kick.
You know
That's a lot
my
of
favorite
those.
part of the movie?
What's your favorite part of the movie?
Benson was in it.
Who?
Benson. Again, you're 12.
Yeah, again, he's not going to know that TV show.
Give me some.
Robert Guillaume. One eye. Remember your number, kid?
So
Come on, dude.
So
The black guy that he makes friends with.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
With the
Remember your number.
Yeah.
What about him?
He's very famous.
Is he? Yeah. I've never seen him before.
Yeah, so he was in a TV show called Benson where he played a waiter to a affluent white family, and would drop knowledge on them to help them through their tough times. It was a very famous sitcom.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I never heard of it. I didn't know he was a famous guy.
It was before you were born.
Yeah.
Like most things that are good. So, you know.
Do you know Mr. Belvedere?
No.
How about Alf?
I don't like Alf. I know who he is,
How
though.
about, well, you probably don't remember MASH because you were.
I remember. I
My
know
dad
MASH.
loved MASH.
The movie or the show?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I wasn't born during the movie.
Facts of Life.
Is that Michael J. Fox?
Different strokes.
Come on, man.
No.
That's Family Ties is what you're thinking.
Jeffersons?
Nope.
How about Friends?
How much more are we going to do? Yes, I've watched Friends. Yeah, I watched Friends.
That was a test and you failed it.
All right, let's get away from how young I am and get back to Jean-Claude.
So, fun fact, originally this movie, the producers wanted Steven Seagal to star in it. So Jean-Claude Van Damme was actually their second choice.
Oh, that's why Steven Seagal is still holding a grudge, huh?
Maybe. But basically, this film was originally produced by Canon Pictures, which made Bloodsport and a bunch of other Jean-Claude Van Damme movies. And it was originally entitled Dusted. And what happened is in the post-production phase of this film, Canon went bankrupt. And so it was kind of like in limbo for a while because they didn't have the funds to finish it. And MGM came along and got the rights to distribute it in post. And so they finished up the movie, retitled it Death Warrant, and put it out there. But the thing that interested me most about this film is that it was actually written by David S. Goyer. Mm-hmm. And he's the guy who wrote all the Nolan Batman movies. He wrote Dark City. He wrote all the Blade movies. He directed the third Blade movie. Wrote Man of Steel. He was the showrunner on
I was like,
Foundation.
oh, don't say that about him.
He was the showrunner on Foundation. But most of all, he is responsible for writing the movie Demonic Toys, which we reviewed in our full moon episode.
This movie is just so ridiculous. I didn't like it. It was fine for Jean-Claude. I was just watching Jean-Claude do his thing, but the plot of this movie is ridiculous. I didn't give a shit about anything. I didn't know who anybody was. Yeah. The prison went from a legitimate, they were trying to do this weird, hardened freaking Shawshank Redemption thing to begin with.
It was kind of like the prison from Tango and Cash.
Yeah, kind of. I was like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah,
this is not how prisons work. Anything goes. Everybody's corrupt. I will say this: the warden dude who plays Babe Ruth from The Sandlot, he is not intimidating.
Art LaFleur.
He is not intimidating and whatsoever. When he's going out there and he's like, pick up my peanut shells, and the guy like bends down and picks up, so he hits him in the head.
He wasn't supposed to pick it up.
I know,
don't move.
That's so stupid though. If you're in prison,
he was intimidating.
You're lined up, you're in prison, you're in your goddamn jumpsuit, and the warden comes up and he's freaking chewing on peanuts and he drops his shell. Are you gonna bend down and pick up his freaking used peanut shell?
I don't know. Probably
No,
not.
no, you're not.
Test.
Nobody's gonna do that.
Failed.
Jean-Claude is the only one who passed. He's like, I'm not picking up your peanut shell. Fuck you.
And Art LaFleur's like, I don't like the way you're fucking looking at me.
Right?
Yeah.
No, it was ridiculous. But I was surprised.
Was he the warden or just he was the head of the guards, right?
He's a prison guard. He wasn't the warden.
He wasn't the warden?
The warden. No.
Oh, okay.
We should say Quark is in this movie.
Yeah, Quark is the doctor who was in the show for 12
Who's also
seconds.
Principal Snyder in Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
And what else happened? Oh, they went real dark at the end of this movie with that same guard, who, again, I don't find intimidating whatsoever. Did you just lick your wine glass?
It was dripping down the side. I had to get it.
Oh, I'll do it again.
No.
Anyway,
weirdo.
There was the scene at the end where he's got the shotgun and he's looking for the guy with the one eye and he's saying all kinds of real hardcore racial slurs. Yeah. I was like, holy shit.
There was some hard R's.
I could not believe they did that, dude.
Why? It's the 80s.
I know. I guess it was just
when movies were good.
Well, I
and
mean,
they weren't afraid of offending
Quentin
people.
Tarantino does it now too.
Yeah.
Like it hasn't disappeared from
I
movies.
can't believe Quentin Tarantino has not gotten canceled.
He doesn't give a shit.
I know.
Because he's like, well, people brought that up and they were like, oh, how could you use all this stuff? And he's like, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you.
It's like it's in a movie.
That's how people talk.
Fuck you. That's how they talk. It was 1883. Fuck off. But yeah, this movie, like, I just was surprised that they went there. I didn't expect it. When they dropped it, I was like, oh shit, they freaking. Oh, okay, all right, that's crazy. And then he gets blown away, which, yeah, of course he does.
Yeah.
The thing that gets me about this movie is so that basically it's revealed that the bad guy is the guy who basically orchestrates this entire investigation because he's trying to get a black market liver for his wife in order to save his wife's life.
Well, he already did.
He already got
but then,
right?
Then he wanted more money.
Yeah. So essentially, like they're running a human organ harvesting ring out of the prison where they take like prisoners and they like harvest their organs and then smuggle them out and to the black market and make a bunch of money. And I you know, when I was watching this movie, I was like, why did this guy choose like the best possible undercover agent to go and handle this? Like, wouldn't he want someone who's either in on it or so inept that like they wouldn't be able to solve this?
Choose some fuck up. Don't choose the mounted Canadian celebrated mayor of Police Town.
Don't choose Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Right.
Oh, then we wouldn't have a movie.
Your first mistake was choosing JCVD.
Because the fuck up would be if they brought the fuck up in, they brought him in like, hey, you're undercover, you're going to this prison. Steven Seagal. He would go into the prison, he would get killed.
I'm not cutting off my ponytail to go to prison.
He would get killed if he went in that situation.
Yeah.
Jean-Claude is the only one who could make it out.
They need to remake this movie with Van Damme, but make it a buddy cop picture with Wahlberg. And they can like be, and they can be
an action reimagining with
Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be cool.
Oh yeah.
But make Jean-Claude the Sandman.
Make him the bad guy. He doesn't play bad guys.
Oh, he doesn't really play bad guys, does he?
He refuses.
He's only played bad guy once, and that was
Has he ever?
too.
Was he done any sequels to any of his terrible movies?
Oh yeah, he's done sequels.
Has he? Is there a sequel to Universal Soldier?
Yes.
With Jean-Claude?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we're watching that one.
What's another sequel though?
I don't know.
I think
I have to go through the list.
I think he's done a couple like sequels.
Yeah, I'm so upset that he's not in the Cyborg sequels.
That movie was terrible.
Cyborg's awesome.
It was
It is.
terrible.
I love Cyborg.
It was terribly awesome.
Yeah.
Just like this movie. The worst part for me at the end that really kind of like made me roll my eyes really hard, but it was still so just damn entertaining. I couldn't help it. Is when the final battle happens between Jean-Claude.
It's amazing.
And it's in like an arena, like a prison arena inside of a boiler room.
Yeah, in the boiler room.
So they're underground. They're under the prison. Things are on fire. There's steam everywhere, and all the prisoners came out to watch this fight because they're all.
They're in the middle of a prison riot. All the doors open, and they're all chasing Jean-Claude down through the prison because he's a fucking cop, right?
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden they're all like, I guess it don't matter if he's a cop now. But you know, whatever. That was the end.
Oh no, but he fights at the they're in the arena, right?
Yeah.
They've got the second tier levels all filled up with people going, yeah, fight up.
Bloodsport, man.
Yeah, it was Bloodsport, and then he's fighting Sandman down at the bottom, and then he defeats Sandman.
Yeah, but okay, stop.
Okay.
I want to talk how this happened.
All right, go ahead.
Set it up.
Sandman, they're in the fight, right? The dumb fuck opens the door to the boiler room, the fire.
Yeah.
Fire, stuff went out. And then he just stands in front of the door so Van Damme can like
spin kick him.
Do one of his slow motion running spin kicks him into the fucking fire. Why didn't he just close the door?
I don't know, dude.
It was hot.
He walks away.
Close the door.
And then Sandman
comes out.
But first, he's talking to Van Damme from inside the fire.
He's taunting him.
before he comes out.
I'm the Sandman.
You can't kill me. And then he gets out of the fire. He's all on fire.
Completely ablaze.
And he's still like, let's fight. Fuck this fire.
It was
This fire ain't shit.
It was ridiculous.
The best part of the Sandman is that he's played by a guy named Patrick Kilpatrick.
Yes.
That's the actor's actual name.
That's terrible.
So that was amazing.
That's a parent fail right there.
I say he renamed himself Patrick because that's the name of the first man he killed.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But
keep what you kill.
wouldn't that have been like the best? If he kicks
Just
him in there,
close the
and he
door.
just, like,
And then in line.
Oh, yeah, and he's like, okay, we're gonna rewrite this. So Sandman is still like in the fire talking shit, and Van Damme just goes,
Close
and,
the door.
Yeah, locks it, and then the credits roll.
Yeah, and then like we get a little bit of an audio, like a Will Ferrell audio. It's really, really hot in here. He bangs on the door. Ding, 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 ding. Can you let me out, please?
I promise I won't kill you anymore.
So stupid. But then after that, after he finally kills the Sandman, which apparently is super hard to do.
The elves have gone too far.
The elves. Oh no. I watched that movie with my wife and she loved it.
That's a great movie.
It's
I
a
need
great
to watch
movie.
it again.
Eurovision. Shout out to Will Ferrell. That shit was funny. At the end of this, he finally kills Sandman, and then when the battle's done, all the prisoners that were trying to kill him like 5 minutes earlier were all like, he's
You're all right,
he's
man.
walking out. He's like, you're a good man. He deserves respect. Good job, buddy. Clear the way.
Well, the whole thing is that the Sandman was so legendary amongst the criminals, they didn't think he could be killed. He was like the ultimate like killer.
Right.
And when Jean-Claude Van Damme killed him, they got the respect of all the criminals, despite the fact that he's a dirty cop.
It wasn't the fact that he was there to actually protect the prisoners
from
being murdered because the prison guards were harvesting their fucking organs. I mean, Jesus, you would think that they would be a little bit grateful.
Yeah.
Yeah, but goddamn cop. Fucking pig.
Can we talk about the character of Priest for a minute?
Go for it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, in the depths of the prison where the guards don't go.
Where do they? They don't go in that room.
Nobody wants to go in there.
They're doing some shit in there, man.
What? Yeah, like if you can survive just going down this flight of stairs, you can do whatever you want, man.
Just cover your butthole. You're gonna be in trouble.
Watch your cornhole, boy.
And he gets money from Amanda so that he can buy shit like underground or undercover or whatever in the prison. She gives him $100 bills. I'm like, he can't get change in prison.
Right?
I need money.
Anybody break this hundo?
Where did you get $100? Don't worry about it.
Do you have more? Oh, don't ask questions.
From my book that the guards clearly didn't search.
Oh my God, this movie is so ridiculous. Anyway, what were you saying about the priest?
Just that he's kind of an interesting character in that he starts off as being like almost an antagonist, and then by the end he like sacrifices himself to save Jean-Claude. It was very weird, but he's basically a pimp of trans women in the prison.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah, I do remember him now. Anyway, that priest guy at the like the depths of freaking hell or whatever.
Yeah.
It was so
if you need anything like that you're not allowed to have or do, priest can get it for you.
Didn't he saved the dude with the one eye, right? At the end of the movie, he's the one who shot the warden or the guard who was going to kill the guy. He shot him with a shotgun. He's like,
okay.
Yeah, I think
he was just getting ready to kill Benson.
Mm-hmm.
And then Priest comes in.
Wow. Yeah. So he did come back to the rescue.
Yeah, but I like how he keeps trying to tempt Jean-Claude with like one of his ladyboys. And Jean-Claude's just like, no, I'm good.
Well, I'm not good enough for you.
Oh, they did go down that road. He's like, it's not my style. And they're like, well, we're not good enough for you. And he's like,
I don't do dudes.
that would get him canceled nowadays.
Jesus Christ.
It's like, no, I'm not done with your pronouns.
All right, let's do final thoughts on this ridiculous movie. Vader, give it a rating.
Ooh, I hadn't even really thought about this. I gotta process this movie.
I'm glad you go first because I didn't either.
I had a lot of fun, so it's hard for me to. Yeah, this is one of those movies that's like probably not a very good movie, but it's a Van Damme movie, and I kind of feel like we judge Van Damme movies on a little different scale.
They're in a rating of their own Jean-Claude Van Damme status. Yeah,
I mean, it's no Cyborg, and it's not a Bloodsport, but I think I'm gonna go 2.5, maybe closer to 3, kind of 2.75.
Okay,
2.75.
2.75.
Van Damme, $100 bills.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Prison bills.
Prison bills.
Bottles of
2.75
bottles of Pruno.
Yeah.
Jude, what's your rating?
So this was my least favorite of the week.
Right.
That being said, no Van Damme movie is a one-star crap fest to me. So I'm gonna give this 3 out of 5 Prunos.
Okay, fair. Kaddish?
All right, so this was a first watch for me. I'd never seen this movie before. This was actually my favorite film of the week.
Really? What?
Yeah. This was my favorite of the week.
You gonna start making pruno in the bathroom upstairs?
Well, I got you to do that, so I'm good. But the thing I liked about this movie is, first of all, like it starts off as like a hardcore mystery investigation. You know me, I'm a sucker for mysteries. So we actually get to see like Jean-Claude Van Damme doing like some cop work. So that was a big benefit for me. It also has one of the most ridiculous final fight scenes I think I've ever seen in a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. So that to me was just like, like chef's kiss. Wow, I loved it. And the guy who was fighting was named Patrick Kilpatrick. But also just like the random conjugal visit scene where like, she shows up, like they've had like zero chemistry up to this point. She's known him for all of like 2 days.
Yeah.
Had very little interaction with him except for maybe over the phone. And she's just like, oh, you want to fuck me? Okay, let's go along with it. and I turned to Jude when we were watching that, and I was like, this is like the 90s, right? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like this movie's just so ridiculous, but it's mixed in with like so many like fun, interesting, like little quirky things that I couldn't help but enjoy it. So I'm going to give it a solid 3 slow motion drop kicks out of 5 because like I had a lot of fun watching this movie in particular.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone was horny in 1990.
Everybody. Yeah. Especially if you were a Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
Right. I mean, the word mount.
Yeah, you don't call somebody a mountie without having some ideas in your head.
If you're a mountie, you better know how to mount something. Like do the Anson mount.
Yeah, the weird sex act. The
don't do that to your loved ones. You save that shit for strangers.
Strange new world.
Never do.
What'd you do last night? I did an Anson mount.
Oh, yeah. Whoa! or the hookers in the prison basement. That's who you use that on.
Yeah, Anson mounts are for prison.
So gross.
You gonna call her again? Fuck no. She let me Anson mount her.
She a dirty bitch. Hell no.
No, you need to say it in Jean-Claude's voice.
She a dirty bitch.
You dirty bitch.
You try to Anson mount me?
It's just like, you'd let me Anson mount you on the first date? Give me another cigarette, you whore.
And then you flick it onto her naked body after you're done Anson mounting.
We're going to get a tweet from Anson Mount someday.
Stop saying this shit.
Fuck you guys.
No, he's going to say, I'm really popular now, but not for something I want to be.
I'm fucking Captain Pike. Yeah, you are.
Yeah. You are.
If while you're Anson mounting someone, you can
also
pull off a Captain Pike, like you are a force to be reckoned with sexually.
If you can find somebody that can Anson mount you and pull off the Riker maneuver, you are gold.
We were inverted.
Oh, he's pulling the Maverick too?
Yeah, pulling the Maverick.
Holy shit.
You got a Polaroid.
You have to be in zero gravity to do that.
We're pulling 9 Gs.
We've got 4 sex positions. We've got the Anson mount, the Riker maneuver, the Captain Pike, the Maverick.
The Charles Shaw is kicking in. $2 Chuck, baby. Woo!
All right, for me, this is a 2-star movie. It's entertaining as hell, but it's ridiculous, and it's not my favorite movie of the week. But yeah, it was a ton of fun. Check it out. It's out there in the ether. Go watch it. It's freaking hilarious. All right, the next movie on our list is Lionheart.
Yes.
Basically, Die Hard on the streets of L.A. We'll be right back. I'm going to refill my drink, and we're going to talk about that movie.
Come on!
Welcome back, everybody. Hey, if you'd like to support the podcast and download an awesome mobile game, go to saltynerd.com/DC. Download Dragon Champions. It's a game that we all play here at the Salty Nerd Podcast. The developers of the game enjoy our podcast and they want to support us. We want to return the favor. So head over there, download the game, type in Salty in the promo code area. It gives you a little leg up on everybody else, gives you some extra money, a new character, and it helps you along your way when you're first starting out. If you get yourself to level 20, you can then join our guild, which is run by one of our patron members, JT, and we have a ton of fun. We go on raids. We have a good time hanging out on the video game side of things, and we'd really love to see you there. So head over to saltynerd.com/DC, download Dragon Champions, and yeah, help us out. All right, next movie on our list.
I want to tell you some things that Brian Thompson is in. So he's the Night Slasher in Cobra.
Mm-hmm.
He's a punk in The Terminator. He is Shao Kahn in the Mortal Kombat movie.
Yep.
He's Brock in Dragonheart.
In Dragonheart?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With Dennis Quaid?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I think that's everything.
Well,
like
he was
of
in
note.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, he was like
Oh
the first.
yeah, he
was
played
the first.
2 different characters.
Yeah.
2 different bad guys in that that they killed off.
He's one of these guys that's been in a ton of movies, and you just don't
He's
realize
the chick's #1 man in this movie.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So the lady's in charge, and
Yes.
he's like her
This
enforcer.
guy-
Okay,
this
yeah,
guy's
yeah.
like he's like Sven Thorson, but he actually gets lines.
He's got like
Yeah.
the jawline of a freaking
Yes.
of a Titanic. Okay, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jude,
Yes.
take it away.
All right, sir.
I was gonna say we should do a Brian Thompson week, but we've already watched a lot of his movies.
Nobody's gonna tune in for Brian Thompson.
Oh,
No
the
offense,
hell!
man.
We could probably interview that dude.
Yes. I want you to get a close up of my muscles.
Yeah. I
From
want
Brussels.
one camera on all of my muscles. Each muscle.
Each muscle.
Just before we get going, how much say does Jean Claude have in a lot of his movies? Does he like Tom Cruise, where he can like throw his weight around and go, "I want you to show to me my chest, and we're going to slow motion the stuff." But you know, because Tom Cruise is like real picky about how he makes his movies. So does Jean Claude?
I don't think Jean
Tom
Claude.
Cruise is a producer.
But does Jean Claude have some pull in how these films are made?
So when he's in a movie that's entirely based around him as a star, he does have a lot of pull. In this movie in particular, Lionheart, he basically came up with the story for it. And so like he co-wrote the movie, and therefore he has a lot of say in this film.
I figured as much. All right.
Ready?
Yes.
Okay. 1990 Lionheart, rated R, with a runtime of 1 hour 48 minutes. This also came out in the same year as the last movie and also had the same budget, so $6 million. What do you think this brought into the box office? Let's go Vader first.
What did I say for the last one?
You said 16.
12.
$12 million. I'm gonna go $12 million, Bob.
Okay. Alex?
Well, the last one made 46.
No, I'm always wrong.
No, you're not. You're always right. I'm
You
gonna
won
say
a lot of speedboats.
I'm gonna say it made 32.
This had a box office budget of $6 million, box office of $24 million. Yeah,
Split
so he definitely brings in the moviegoers.
Doubled, quadrupled. Quadrupled. Man, this fucking Charles Schwab shit gets you.
It does.
Charles Schwab is a hell of a guy.
Yes. Or Charles Shaw.
Yeah.
Shaw, yeah.
Well, what's funny about this movie is that it was actually shot after Death Warrant, but because Canon went bankrupt and Death Warrant was kind of like caught up in a bunch of like legal hurdles, this movie came out before Death Warrant, and it was based off of the popularity of this movie because a lot of the JCVD devotees, the people who love Jean-Claude Van Damme, loved this movie. They consider it one of his best ones after Bloodsport, and that led to the box office for Death Warrant being bigger than this one.
Wow, that's interesting.
Jean-Claude is a money maker.
I watch all his movies.
Right. We're still talking about him.
Jude, what's
All
this
right.
movie all about?
Okay, let me tell you. French deserter Leon is trying to get to the hospital in LA, where, unbeknownst to him, his brother has already died. After he's stowed away on a boat headed for LA, but arriving in New York, he makes a name for himself in the world of underground fighting. Rising in the ranks of fancy underground fighting, he gains the interest of Brian Thompson, an exact lookalike female Brian Thompson. She wants him to fight for her and is desperate to keep him close. He falls asleep in his hotel room and wakes up the next morning naked, with female Brian Thompson sweating over him and giggling seductively. Now that he knows his brother is dead, Leon wants to help his brother's family however he can. So he goes back into the fighting circuit. All the Richies park their Mercedes-Benzes, making a fighting ring, and watch as Lionheart takes on a Highlander and wins. He starts sending money to his brother's family secretly and is the belle of the brawl. Everything is going great until the Foreign Legion catches up to him, intent to bring him in for a court-martial. Dodging the law, Leon lets Lady Thompson talk him into one last fight, the one they can all retire on and take care of his family for good. Thinking there's no way Leon can defeat this last fighter, that bitch Brian bets against him, but no one can defeat the Lionheart. Discuss.
This movie's pretty good.
Yeah, it's great.
I was expecting it to be horrible because, like, the first thing I've never seen this movie before.
You expect it to be horrible?
Yeah,
a Jean-Claude Van Damme
I know.
movie to be horrible.
I think when we
Bum
did,
fight Bloodsport.
Yeah.
Like, bum fight
Bloodsport.
I think when we did, remember when we did our like top 10 date movies? I think this was one of my top like 5 date movies.
I've never seen it before.
Listen, I have one comment to say about your synopsis.
Synopsis.
Female Brian, what's his name?
Thompson. She looks exactly
Dude,
like him.
she's a smoke show.
What?
Oh God, hell yeah, dude! I would smash the shit out of her. That would be amazing.
It's all yours.
He likes a strong jaw on a lady.
I like that. I think it was the way she had her little nightie thing on with that really high French cut thing that she came out.
That was a bathing suit.
Oh, whatever it was awesome.
Speaking of bathing suits, how about when they fight in a pool?
Oh, that was amazing.
Awesome.
In the leotards?
In the like wrestling jumpsuit, yes.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, this movie is basically just like
it's underground bum fights.
It's underground bum fights.
Bloodsport bum fights.
Well, with these rich people, so like he goes.
These are real. These things happen.
His brother gets in on the wrong crowd and literally gets lit on fire, which was really dark for an opening of this movie.
Yeah, that's the first thing that happens.
Like exactly, it's the first thing that happens. The credits are still going, and his brother's like, "Oh no, don't pour gasoline on me!" And he's like, and then they let him on fire. And he's like, "Leon," as he's on fire. Jesus.
Give me 10 minutes. We could probably go watch an underground bum fight here in Vegas right now.
at the mole people?
Yeah.
There's a whole town under there, dude.
Yeah, dude. I bet it's awesome too.
I wouldn't want to see it.
I
I'll pass. Anyway, so
you don't want to meet the mayor of Moletown.
No, I don't. That sounds like something you do in a video game, though.
I want a movie. We need a movie about the underground world of Las Vegas.
We could make it.
And the bum fights that happen.
We could
I know they happen. They have to happen.
Probably.
The underneath valleys down there, dude. It's just the parking structure down there. It's fucking perfect.
It is.
So there's something. So you talked about the very dark scene that happens at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
There's also something else I think hilarious that happens at the beginning of this movie, and it's when Leon is stowed away on the boat. He's trying to escape from the military so that he can get to his brother. And when the boat is almost to New York, like he comes up from the depths of the boat and he sees like, oh, well, that's not LA. And the boat captain is like, get back down there. I know you're a deserter. And he's like, maybe we can make a deal. And he punches the guy out, and then he just swims to shore.
He just jumps off the boat.
Instead of just staying on the boat and having the boat come to shore. And then the next time we see him, he's totally dry.
Yeah.
Wearing the same clothes.
Yeah.
My only question is he gets on a boat headed for LA, but he ends up in New York. That's a completely different ocean.
Well, he was in.
It doesn't make any sense.
It was
to me.
1990.
Where was he?
1990.
Where was he when he was working for the French Foreign Legion?
In Northern Africa or something.
Yeah, he was in Africa.
He was in the desert.
Yeah, he's
Some
in
desert,
Africa.
some desert.
So he has to go across the Atlantic, and he's not gonna. We're not gonna go all the way down around South America. Do you know what
You gotta go through the Panama Canal.
So you got to go through the Panama Canal,
Yeah,
right? But they're
yeah.
not gonna. He went on there expecting them to take him.
Jude's getting the globe out.
Oh my God.
This is how the world works.
Move Wajo or whatever his name is.
All right. Give us a geography lesson.
So he starts here, right? And he ends up here, but he needed to start here and go dun, 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 dun.
A 3-hour tour.
Dun, 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 dun. Yo, Panamanians, can I go through your canal? Uh-huh. Okay. And then they go through there, and then he goes, and he flies through on the water, goes to Hawaii, goes down, goes down to Easter. Whoa,
we're done.
Goes down to Easter Island, and and goes,
so the ship captain was like,
and
no.
then he ends up in LA.
So the ship captain was like, no, I'm not taking you to LA. You're gonna stay on my boat because he's like shoveling coal.
You're gonna be my coal slave.
Apparently, this ship was like a coal steamship.
It's 1990. Ships were different.
It wasn't like a diesel engine or anything. He's down there shoveling coal for the steam engine.
It's from 1922.
Hey, it was a ship from Northern Africa. Right? What do you want?
Do they still even make steamships with coal chutes? That doesn't make any sense.
Listen, they had to have a ship that the French Foreign Legion couldn't track.
I didn't even think about that, but you're right. So dumb. It's really
Why
dumb.
the fuck was he shoveling coal? And that was like a montage. It was like his training montage as he's down there.
He's all, gonna shovel some coal.
He's all,
Gonna train for some fighting.
He's all,
some shit in the bag.
Remember, Jean-Claude Van Damme co-wrote this. That's how he thinks boats are. He's like, how are boats run?
He's like,
they run just like trains on coal. Yeah.
In Portugal, they have coal fleets of ships.
Show us on the globe where Portugal is.
I don't know where pork. I can't say the word.
Portugal.
I can't say it.
Porch.
Portugal. I can't do it. Portugal. I can't, honestly, I can't do it. I've never been able to say that.
I can say it right in my head now because of him.
Portugal. Say porch.
Porch.
Like a front porch. Portugal.
Portugal.
Okay. Anyway, the coal
The
shoot.
whole country's run on coal. They have coal fucking factories.
So anyway, it's just his whole like going from Africa to New York in the coal powered
Are
fucking
so
shit.
sweaty right now.
It's so fucking hot here.
Well, what's funny is like when he goes from New York to LA, it literally happens in like one edit. Like
Yeah.
they don't even go to the airport. They're like in a car, and then the next thing, like, oh, we're in LA.
He's in LA.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. He just had to get to LA.
He had to get to the bum fights under the overpass.
They needed an extra like
Listen,
15.
no one wants to see me traveling. They just want to see me fight and sweat.
He should. What he should have done is he should have fought his way to LA. Like, okay, we'll start in New York, and then we'll have a fight in Kansas, and then we're gonna have a fight, and then you can have different styles of fighting.
That'd be kinda cool.
Along the way. You could have like some redneck hillbilly fighter coming out there with his freaking spandex, or not spandex, his overalls, just freaking going at it. And then you go to the Midwest country, you have some cowboy who rides bulls.
He should have done like a barbecue tour.
Exactly.
Go to like hang out with like Guy Fieri and like go down and do. It's like, oh, we're gonna start down at the barbecue pit. And then we're gonna have a fight. We're gonna have a fight at the barbecue pit.
Yes.
It's like, dude. Yeah.
A freaking okay. So each one of these like arenas that he's in
Yeah.
is kind of like a different style. We have the pool. We have the cars in a circle. We have a bunch of different styles. Wouldn't it have been amazing if they were just surrounded by pit bosses making freaking barbecue, and they're in the middle? How fucking incredible would that be?
Yeah.
They barbecue the loser.
You have Guy Fieri, winner, chicken dinner.
He could be the announcer with his stupid spiky hair.
Fucking hair. That fat fuck. His stupid fucking hair.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know. It's Charles Shaw, bro. I don't know what's going on.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, so we get to LA and he goes to the fights. I don't have anything to say against this movie. It is what it is.
This movie's amazing.
It's amazing and it's ridiculous.
So many hot chicks with big hair.
I love that he has one fight for the Richies. He
Yeah.
has probably a couple of like the bum fights, and then he goes to like the rich fight, which is where like it's the same thing, but like rich people watch.
Right.
He has one, and all of a sudden he's the darling of Brian Thompson and her male version of herself, Brian Thompson. and they're like, listen, we need you to keep fighting because you are the darling of the fighting circuit. People in New York are still talking about you.
I think the dude that he fought in that first fight in that parking garage was like their top tier fighter.
Yeah, and he just punched him in the nuts.
He just punched him in the balls.
In the underpass league.
Yeah.
And the one date girl with the big hair and the sexy dress, she gets like blood on her, and she like
she licks it
off of herself, and she licks it.
I was like, oh my God, I can't believe she just did that.
I was like,
you're gonna get a disease, lady.
Not safe.
You know what they should have done?
Well, the guy that she was with is Lawrence Bender, who was all of the producer of all the Quentin Tarantino movies. This was like one of his like first film appearances.
Huh.
Really?
And he was with the blood slut, basically the girl, the girl who gets hot seeing other guys like beat to a pulp.
She did. It's like Jean-Claude or somebody gets punched in the face and spits blood all over her, and she just like takes it off her chest.
I saw it. Yeah.
And Lawrence Bender's epic ponytail, like sleazy '90s ponytail.
You know what they should have done? They should have had a scene in this where his handler, the black dude, what's his name?
I don't know, but he's awesome.
They should have asked Leon. They should. Hey Leon, what is best in life? And he could have said something like, oh, you know, to crush your enemies and to beat them up in the swimming pool and to fuck all their women.
So his handler's name is Joshua.
Joshua.
Played by Harrison Page. And the funny thing about Harrison Page is like he's like a very serious actor, and he did the jive talking street guy Like 90% of his lines were ad-libbed.
Oh my God.
And Jean-Claude Van Damme couldn't understand what he was saying half the
God.
time.
I couldn't understand what he was saying half the time, and I loved it.
It was great.
It was like Samuel L. Jackson on cocaine.
But Jean-Claude Van Damme got really frustrated having to act, you know, with this guy because he was like, I never understand what you're saying.
But he's like, there was a scene where Jean-Claude gets beat up by the French Foreign Legion at some point during the second half of the movie, and he's got a couple of bruised ribs. And he's supposed to go up against the big bad freaking
broke a rib.
Andre the Giant fighter with the big mutton chops.
He did have an Andre.
He
thing
looked
going on.
exactly like Andre
he
the
was
Giant.
Skinny Andre.
Yeah, yeah. That's the whole time I was like, is this Andre's brother? Did he have a brother? Because he looked just like him. Anyway.
Who is that
If you
guy?
know, pop it in the comments.
Yeah.
Who is the guy that he fights at the end?
The big guy with the mutton chops and the
Mutton
ponytail. But he's supposed to go up there, and his handler Joshua, right?
Yeah.
Okay, his handler Joshua comes in and talks to him and finds out that he's got a couple broken ribs. And he's like, man, what do you fucking think you're doing? You can't go in there all fucked up like that. And I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing.
How about when he fights the Highlander?
Yes.
And Joshua's like, he's wearing a skirt. Why don't you see what's up there?
I definitely got a Kurgan vibe off that dude.
I fucking loved him, dude.
was
He made the
pretty cool.
movie for me. He was one of the best parts of this whole movie.
So have you guys ever heard of Billy Blanks?
Yeah.
Yes, but I don't know why.
So he's the guy who invented Tybo.
Right.
And he plays one of the French Foreign Legion guys at the beginning that
Really?
Jean-Claude kicks his ass and escapes from.
Okay.
Yeah, he's on screen for like 2 seconds.
Oh yeah, and like immediately at the get-go, when he's still like in the military, they're so antagonistic.
Oh, they're dicks.
They're like, yes, we know your brother is dying, but we need you
Well,
here.
it's not. I don't know if you know anything about the French Foreign Legion, but basically it was a place that a lot of criminals would sign up for instead of going to jail. So the French Foreign Legion was used to dealing with like really like
Oh,
scum
it's
of the
The Wall.
earth people.
It's pretty brutal.
Yes.
It is. It
Okay.
is The Wall. That's
Okay.
a good idea. That's a really good comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah, from Game of Thrones. Yep.
You could get castrated, or you could come work for us.
Yeah,
die.
the funny thing
Die.
about this movie is it was directed by Sheldon Lettich, who was the writer of Bloodsport. And this was like his first like big film, and Jean-Claude Van Damme like teamed up with him to write the screenplay for it because it was based off of a story that Jean-Claude Van Damme came up with. Basically Bloodsport. And
I wish his name had been Frank Dukes in this.
And because he was, you know, friends with Sheldon Lettich from Bloodsport, he kind of lobbied for him to be the director. And he was like, well, if he sucks, we can just replace him later on. But it turns out that Sheldon Lettich was, you know, pretty good at it. And he's kind of built his career around making Jean-Claude Van Damme movies. I don't know if you've ever checked out his filmography, but he's got like 5 or 6 Jean-Claude Van Damme movies under his belt. And this movie was actually, all the fight scenes were choreographed by Frank Dukes from the Bloodsport
Get
movie
the
was.
fuck
Really?
out.
The choreographer for these fight scenes was Frank Dukes.
Yeah, because this was back when Frank Dukes and Jean-Claude Van Damme were still like kind of cool with each other. And so like he came in and basically choreographed all the fights for this movie.
Wow.
The slow motion.
This just bumped it up another star for me.
Yeah, it kind of did.
And Dukes. American Ninja.
The Andre the Giant guy.
Okay, USA.
Okay, USA. This movie is missing.
What this movie is missing is
Donald Gibb.
Is Donald Gibbs.
Yeah, you need Donald Gibb.
Never been with a big
Never
man.
been with a big man. Can you imagine? Who would you have put him in? Would you have put him in one of the fighters?
Yeah, for sure. That'd
Yeah,
been
going
great.
up against Jean-Claude.
My wife asked me. She finally saw this shirt in my closet. She goes, what does that shirt mean? It's kind of dirty.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, yeah, it is. But you ever
But
been with
it's
a big
funny
man?
too. Okay.
Did you then immediately go and watch Bloodsport with
I
her?
totally explained it to her.
Okay.
She goes, oh, okay, that's fine.
Okay, what if Donald Gibb was in the Brian Thompson part?
No. I think it would have been better if he was a fighter.
He doesn't need to speak a whole
He
lot.
should have been
No,
one
no,
of,
no. Lady Brian Thompson.
he should have been one of the guys that was from the Foreign Legion trying to hunt down.
They just needed him to be like one of the bums under the overpass in the fight scene. Just give him some love.
Have him go up against Jean-Claude. I would have loved that if he would have been one of the freaking guys who was fighting Jean-Claude. Like,
Okay, USA.
okay, USA, I'm gonna fuck you up, kid. Are you ready? And then he goes in.
Anytime, any place.
he just punches him in the balls.
Yeah.
And fights over.
It's a fucking weak ass move, Jean-Claude.
So one of the interesting things about this movie is that this is Ashley Johnson's first film, and she played the young daughter the niece of Jean-Claude Van Damme's character.
Oh, okay.
And one of the weird things about this movie to me is like Jean-Claude's like, I'm all about the family. Like he's basically Dom from Fast and Furious.
Right, yeah. Lives his life 1 quarter mile at a time.
Yeah. And he's like, I don't got friends, I got family. So like basically he kind of like adopts his brother's wife and kid. And it's like, they're my family, and he like fights for them. And one of the weird things about this movie is that, you know, he comes back because his brother was killed by a street gang trying to like move dope or something like that. And you'd think that this is a revenge tale because like he'd be like, oh, I want to find the people who murdered my brother and you know.
Yeah, no, he doesn't give a shit about that.
Yeah, we never talk about it again.
Well, he asked the doctor who was caring for his brother. He's like, did they ever catch the guys who did this? And they're like, oh yeah, they're in jail.
Oh right.
And Jean-Claude Van Damme's like, oh okay, I guess I'll go fight some bums.
He's like, he wipes his tears. He's like, okay, thanks. And then he goes and gets drunk. And then the next day he's like, I guess I'll fight.
Yeah. Because he wants to take care of his sister-in-law and niece.
Yeah.
And I think that's admirable. I was like, okay, I'm in for
They
that.
should have got somebody hotter to play his sister-in-law.
I don't think
He's got the heart of a lion.
Shit, it was a redhead, bro.
Yeah.
Anyway.
She was kind of plain.
Fuck you.
There's much hotter redheads out there.
Oh, here's the sexy blood scene.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. We're watching it right now.
See, that guy's
she
wearing,
is.
Yeah, he's wearing a black leather vest. You know he's the best.
Yep. Oh, God, she is kind of hideous, isn't she?
I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
There you go. Oh, there it is. Right on the chest.
Yeah.
Like, oh, my
she's
God.
So
I like her.
into it. Oh, and then she locks eyes with Leon. She's like, ooh, watch me be
Look at this.
so sexy.
So now she's now she's a vampire.
He's all like, what the fuck is going on?
This movie needed Blade.
He's like, that did not
Wesley
make me hot.
Needed
Snipes?
Wesley Snipes.
Would he have been a better main bad guy for the LA area?
No, he'd have been better Joshua.
Pretty cool.
Oh, Joshua, that would have been cool, yeah. But I like Joshua, though.
Yeah,
I think he's the best part of this freaking movie.
You know
I
what we
love
should do?
Joshua.
This jive talking shit.
We need to have a Wesley Snipes week and watch New Jack City. That'd be pretty cool.
I'm down for a Wesley Snipes week.
I love how like he starts doing these fights and they kind of move to LA and it looks like they're like sharing an apartment at one time and Joshua's just like chilling on the couch with a TV and like a dirty magazine and Jean-Claude's like he's like going out for a run but he wants the magazine for some reason and they have like this fun little argument. He's like, oh no, that'll rot your brain. You need to focus on fighting. And he's like, okay, I'll just go run by myself.
I used to have a hat like that, guys. His little
with the short brim?
what do they call those hats?
That's
I don't know.
Like
It's
a,
his
like a
village
train
people-
guy
His village
hat.
people hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are popular. She's not pretty,
not.
bro. Were you drunk when you watched this?
I must have been.
He's drunk now. He's got reverse beer goggles. He thought she was hot when he was sober, and now that he's
That's
drunk,
it.
he's like, I could do better.
Reverse beer goggles. That's my curse.
Look at that jawline. She's standing right next to Brian
Oh,
Thompson.
look at that smile,
You cannot tell them apart.
They're twins. They're twins. I have a thing for Brian Thompson. That is not cool.
Gender swap Brian Thompson. Oh yeah, that does it for you.
Shame that Brian Thompson played both parts.
He wants to Anson mount that right
The
now.
Night Slasher. Clink, clink. Yeah, that's great. I love it. Yeah.
It's another success.
You tell me Donald Gibb would not have made a better female Brian Thompson.
I want to see them fight. That's all. I mean, sure, maybe it would have been funny if we would have been in there, but
He's working out, and like Jean-Claude Van Damme is naked.
dude,
He's like, hey man.
can we talk?
God damn. This
Hey,
fucking,
sleepyhead.
we're not gonna make it through this show.
Can you? That scene was
the
freaking
show-
hilarious.
Okay.
So he goes to bed in this like silk sheeted freaking bed. He wakes up, he's completely naked, and she's over there just doing reps.
Yeah, he passes out on top of the covers, fully clothed.
Yeah.
He wakes up, he's underneath the covers and naked, and they don't explain it, but he goes, "Where are my clothes?"
Yeah.
And she makes it clear she undressed him and tucked him in, probably by herself, and she's just doing reps across from the bed
With a Bowflex, just sitting over there freaking, oh yeah, this is real sexy.
Yeah, it'd be funny if she actually had Brian Thompson do the undressing and she just watched.
He's probably sitting there with a big old fucking morning wood fucking pecker going.
Yeah.
Not after he saw that.
I think I'd still hit it. I mean, Why not?
I mean, I'm not gonna look at her. I'll probably answer
God
that.
damn, dude.
She's got a square jaw. I wonder if it does the snake thing where it like dislocates itself, so it can like.
Oh, you're getting dirty.
That's how you hit a Captain Pike.
Yeah. An Anson Mount.
All right, we're running off track.
That's the kind of girl you take home to Anson Mount.
Final thoughts. Give this
We're
movie
doing
a rating.
final thoughts already?
Yeah. What else do you want to talk about? It's not a complicated movie, man.
No.
Bum fights.
Bum
Bloodsport.
fights and Jean-Claude Van Damme.
He goes to L.A. but ends up in New York. He's in the French Foreign. What about the French Foreign Legion guys who were the exact same dudes as Bloodsport from
Yes.
Well, yeah, they were the cops. It was
It's like, okay, we're coming to get you.
Forrest Whitaker,
Forrest
right?
Whitaker.
Yes.
Yeah. But okay, cool. Go do the fight first, and then we'll
It's the exact same.
take it. It's the exact same thing.
Exact same characters. Yeah.
It really is.
They even go there and they watch the final fight.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
And then they pat him on the back. They were like, "That was a good
That was
fight.
a good fight, man.
we got your.
Come on, Leon.
Let's
Your
go.
fight's done."
They're going to the desert to go to jail.
And they're like, "Your family is gonna be okay now."
Yeah. And then they let him go at the end, right?
No.
Like they're driving in the car.
And the black dude is a little Asian dude, right?
Okay, USA.
Yeah, okay.
Sure, yeah.
I mean,
But I like him better,
This
though.
really is Bloodsport.
It is. It's
I
exactly
think-
like this.
Doesn't the Foreign Legion have guns?
so
But
wait.
like in Bloodsport, they have weird tasers.
Wait, the guy who wrote Bloodsport, who also wrote and directed this movie, made it like Bloodsport?
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Just make the same
Blew
movie.
my mind.
Make the same movie twice. And market it differently.
It's exactly the same.
Let's remake Lionheart, and we'll call it Bloodsport 2.
Did you know?
We'll call it Tiger Beat.
Yeah, something.
Did you know this movie had 5 different titles?
Really? What were they?
Do you know what they are?
Yeah. So like basically it was
Let's score these titles.
Okay.
Let's judge them.
Okay. In the U.S., it was called Lionheart.
Okay.
Then in Australia, it was called Full Contact.
Oh, I like that.
I like Lionheart better.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Lionheart doesn't make
There's
any
probably
sense.
something else already.
Well, his name
called
is
Full
Leon.
Contact.
In the UK, it was called AWOL, Absent Without Leave.
That's stupid.
Stupid.
Fucking British.
What's wrong with those
people.
fucking UK
Yeah.
people?
In Germany, it was called Leon.
Like the professional?
Yeah, that's already a movie.
It's like, Leon, well, I get the crush on little girls.
And I think in Portugal, it was called Wrong Bet.
No.
Wrong bet. No, Lionheart.
I like Full
Lionheart's-
Contact and I like Lionheart.
Yeah, Full
Lionheart's the
Contact
best
is my vote.
But the funny thing is that because this movie was sold to like different territories, it was an independent production, right? And so like depending on who got it, what distributor and what territory, they just named it something different.
Huh.
It was very strange. But like, yeah, this movie has 5 different titles to
That's
it.
funny.
I like Full Contact.
Is that like, it's like No Escape, but Escape from Absalom?
Yeah, pretty much.
Escape Absalom is better. Let's do final thoughts. Give it a rating, V. What do you think about? What do you think about this movie?
What did I give the last one? 2.75. I'm going to go 3 Jean-Claude Van Damme blood drops, I guess. I don't know, whatever.
Three
Yeah.
blood drops out of 5?
Yeah, three roundhouse slow motion kicks
Okay.
out of 5. Sure.
Cool. Jude?
Okay. The fact that the writer of Bloodsport, or director, writer? Writer.
So the writer of Bloodsport.
The writer of Bloodsport is the writer and director of this, bumped it up for me. So for me, this is 4 pool leotards out of 5 pool leotards.
Okay. Wow, 4.
I mean, this
That's
movie
high.
made me want to like bang a man. So, you know, I'm kind of...
Somebody take the $2 chuck away from it. You're going to watch this later and be like, why did you guys let me say that?
I know, right? But she's kind of hot in a weird, like, manly jaw kind of way.
All right. Kadish, what's your
She's what we call a handsome woman.
Handsome woman. She looks good in the freaking thing. And one of those high cut...
Stop.
French cut
You're going to...
French?
French. She's got a French leotard on.
Belgian leotard.
What
A Portugal leotard?
Portugal.
leotard from Portugal. Yeah.
Show us on the globe where the leotard
I
came
have
from.
no idea. I think it's in Europe somewhere. Like is it by that Estonia or whatever the fuck? I really don't know.
Bratislava.
Who?
Bratislava and Port Estonia.
Portugal is one of those freaking...
Dude,
It's one of those countries.
Wait, we could...
It's one of those countries.
Dude, I'm Viking cop. Viking cop. So where are you from? I'm from Portugal. It's right next to Bratislava.
No. We have to reenact the Euro trip safe word. And it's Portugal, but he can't fucking say it.
Is there for real? Is there a least thought of European country than Portugal? I don't even know where the fuck it is.
That's because there is no country named Portugal.
It needs more respect. It needs to be famous for something. What is Portugal famous for? I don't know.
Pork. Obviously, it's from pork.
It's sausages.
It's fucking pork, bro.
Sausages from Portugal.
They make really fucking good pork.
I think Portugal is one of those countries where like they worship the pig, so you're not allowed to eat them.
Oh no! Yeah. I hate those countries.
I really can't say it. I don't know how to
Whatever.
say it.
Anyway, Kadish. This is going to be a monster to edit. Kadish, what's your final thoughts
Just
on
let
Lionheart?
it go, bro. Who cares?
Okay.
So anyway, back to my thoughts. You know, one of the interesting things about both this movie and Death Warrant is that they kind of started to pioneer the multi-edit action hit. So like there are scenes in here, especially like in the pool scene where Jean-Claude Van Damme punches or kicks a guy, and they just repeat the same punch in the editing like multiple times to like kind of emphasize it, and it gets to the point where it's pretty ridiculous. But these were like the first movies to like kind of do that, to kind of emphasize the hits, I guess, and drag out the action scenes. So that was kind of fun. I didn't find this movie all that entertaining. Like it just felt like a kind of shallow follow up to Bloodsport for me. And the story didn't make a whole lot of sense, and there weren't a whole lot of attractive women in this movie.
How dare you?
So
it's got a masculine jaw.
Yeah, so I give it 2 masculine jaws out of 5. So.
I'm with Kadish. This is a 2 out of 5 for me. I kind of see it as just the poor man's Bloodsport.
It's Bloodsport with bum fight.
Bum fight Bloodsport.
It's amazing.
And 2 Brian Thompsons for the price of 1.
I don't want to look at the other one. Anyway, not my favorite movie of the week. Definitely not. But it's all right. It's fun. I mean, they're all. I can't say that in a negative way. They're all fun. They're all Jean-Claude Van Damme freaking fun movies. I do like the scene where he fights the Highlander. That was hilarious.
The Highlander.
He fights the Highlander.
Yeah.
The Kurgan. There can be only
There can be only one.
He's basically early 90s Conor McGregor that he fights.
Yeah.
How awesome would it have been
Man,
if
that guy's wearing a skirt.
See what's up it.
They should have got the guy that, what the fuck is his name? That plays the Kurgan.
Clancy Brown?
Yeah, they got
Clancy Brown in
If
this
they got
movie?
Clancy Brown to play the dude
Whoa.
at the end.
Okay.
That would have been over the top.
Well, yeah, you put Clancy Brown.
5-star.
5-star, yeah. Clancy Brown is the bad guy. Fucking 5-star movie.
There's nothing wrong with this movie.
No, it's
But
fun.
we just fixed it.
Yeah. All right. Instead of Andre the Giant's smaller brother.
Yeah. Skinny little brother. The 350-pound skinny little brother.
With the great sideburns.
Oh, he's
The
got
amazing
I think
sideburns.
I'm going to shave my beard.
And just keep the
And just
berms?
keep the berms.
Berms? From Portugal?
That's what they call him in Portugal.
My wife-
Portugal. I don't know how to say it.
I'm doing a reverse goatee. My wife would kill me. Divorced.
You look like a Commodore from the 1800s.
Mutton chops. Yeah.
The berms. They're fucking berms.
Doing the berms. Big old fucking Elvis sideburns and shit. Hell yeah, dude.
It doesn't matter what my rating is.
What is it?
We'll
Give
be
me-
right back. It's
How many
2.
berms?
It's
How many
two,
berms do you
two
give it?
berms. 2 berms out of 5.
Off the rails.
God. We haven't even gotten to the best movie yet.
We're only halfway through.
All right, guys, we'll be right back. We're going
I
to talk
see,
about
I
sudden
see-
death. Die Hard on a hockey rink. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Hey, if you want to support the podcast and wear some awesome merch, go to saltynerdstore.com and grab some of our stuff. You got the official logo that I'm wearing right now. You got your bit with a big man that Matt Vader is wearing. Plucky sidekick that Jude is wearing over there. And my mama took a chance. Matthew Kadish is rocking
You
these
can actually
Jean-Claude.
buy this t-shirt.
My mama
shirt.
took one.
My mama took one. My name is Chance. Oh yeah, we have behind Vader. Behind Vader over there is a whole bunch of different shirts that we have.
How dare you?
And you can grab some of those things. Are you fondling the 80s tits?
I am. A little bit.
Those are mine.
She helped me design that shirt.
Shirt.
She was like, I sent her a copy of it. She's like, make the nipples weirder.
I feel like they should be bigger too.
Yeah. It's a small shirt. Anyway.
They should be like silver dollars.
Salty. Oh my God.
You can do the Under Siege version where like they just blend in.
It's just, they're not
With like
there.
some little bumps on them. little areola bumps.
Hairy areola.
Off the rails. This is one.
Buy some shirts if you want. Fucking give a shit if you do or not.
Hi, Charles Schwab.
Just do what you want to do.
Sell it, bro. Sell it.
I'm tired. Fuck it. If you want to, go for it. If not,
You could spend $10 on one shirt, or you could buy 17 bottles of Charles Schwab.
Shaw.
Charles Schwab is an investment firm.
If you would like to send us a bottle of Charles Schwab, our P.O. box is in the description below.
Or join the club so we can take a trip to Portugal.
I'm going to go to Portugal so I can fondle Jean-Claude statue's balls.
One day we're going to do a show live from Portugal.
Next movie on our list is Sudden Death, Hockey, Rink, Die Hard.
Die Hard in a hockey rink.
It's amazing. It's so much fun.
It
Jude,
really is.
take it away.
Okay. 1995 Sudden Death. Rated R with a runtime of 1 hour, 51 minutes. This had a budget of $35 million. What do you think this brought into the box office?
$35 million. 58 million.
Me?
I don't know if this movie broke even. I'm going to say it broke even.
It should have gotten all of the monies.
It should have. It broke
You're
even.
gonna say
It broke even.
64 million, so
Wow,
it did double.
double.
It did
Double.
double.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
upset we didn't
Why
get a
didn't we
sequel.
get a sequel?
We should have.
Should have gotten a sequel.
They didn't have the helicopter.
How can the same shit happen to the same guy twice?
Well, you move it to the Super Bowl.
Yes! Yes!
You have the same movie, but at like a Super Bowl.
Every sequel is a different sporting
I
event.
am the fire marshal for this stadium.
Yeah. You just changed light bulbs, Dad. Fuck you!
You changed it to the Canadian Football League in Montreal.
There you go.
How do terrorists keep taking over stadiums?
Doesn't matter.
Because they're terrorists and it's movies and it doesn't matter.
All right. Jude, take it away. What is
Sorry.
Sudden Death all
I'm
about?
scratching my nose.
Too much cocaine?
All right. Yeah, I wish.
Oh, that's what we got to do that on. We got to do the show on like some. Like,
Well, if there was ever a show to do cocaine on, it was Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I was about to say you're
no, don't say that, bro. It's like do something.
I'm not doing a fucking podcast on blow, dude. It's not happening.
Yeah. We'll call that episode Off the Rails while we do Rails of Code.
It's like Alex disappears to Thailand for like 2 months.
Hey, man, you gonna hear that cocaine over there?
He comes back blonde.
I look like Guy Fieri, blonde with a fucking little goatee.
Got a bunch of white powder and shit on my face. The fuck is wrong with you, man? I'm terrible.
Jude, what is Sudden Death all about?
JCVD just wants to take his kids to Game 7 between the Pens and the Hawks, but Powers Booth has to ruin hockey. He's rigged the arena with explosives and taken the vice president hostage. And if he doesn't get a deposit in between each period, he's going to start popping heads. So the Pens are down by 1, and goalie Brad Tolliver, who should be in a wheelchair, not on the ice, needs a nap. While he's resting up, JCVD sneaks into his uniform and takes the ice. The Hawks are on the offense, trying to keep the lead, and think they can get another score with Tolliver not challenging the shooters at all. Number 10, Tony Amini, makes a straight shot right at JCVD. I mean Brad Tolliver. And Tolliver comes up with the save of the year, giving the Pens time to tie it up in the third. It's 4 minutes to go, and Tolliver clocks Robinson, earning him a misconduct and a fining major. He gets escorted off the ice and starts dismantling bombs in the arena. Anyway, it's 3-4, and the clock is running out. It's Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals, and Lucky Luke scores on the Hawks with less than a second in the game, tying the Pens at the end of the third. Now we're in sudden death OT. The puck drops, and with the cup on the line, the Pens and Hawks battle it out. The winner of the next goal takes home the Stanley Cup. This is the most exciting game for the Pens since 1964, until JCVD drops a fucking body onto the Jumbotron from the roof. Suddenly, everyone forgets that this is Game 7 and starts running for the door. And if it weren't game over already, JCVD drops a helicopter into the middle of the ice, ruining hockey in the Civic Arena for good. Discuss.
That was a great synopsis of the hockey match.
Oh my God, the hockey match. Fuck you, Katie. The game was amazing.
It was.
I was on the edge of my. I was like, it's a fucking shootout!
I love hockey.
The Pens just scored. The Pens just scored.
Jude went off the rails in this one. She didn't give a shit about Jean-Claude Van Damme.
No, it's hockey, dude.
It's hockey, dude.
Hockey.
Fucking game going on.
While I drink wine out of my hockey wine glass and drink
So-
water out of my hockey water glass.
So, Kadish, I know it's probably going to bother you that we don't talk about the plot. So go ahead. What's the plot about?
I mean,
I just gave it to you.
No, that was it.
Okay.
yeah, it's Die Hard in a hockey rink.
All right, yeah.
What more do you need?
All right.
During Game 7
Powers-
of the Stanley Cup Finals.
Okay.
Powers Booth has the vice president as hostage, and he ends up getting JCVD's daughter in there too. And he's holding everyone hostage. There's a room full of people. He's gonna kill people if he doesn't get his money.
I freaking love this movie.
It's amazing.
I watched it twice this week.
Me too.
It was so good.
Yeah.
It was like surprisingly good. I was watching it, I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it. Everything makes sense. The plot's fine. The only thing I was like really worried, I was like, why are they doing like, okay, you're going to transfer 1/3 during the first period and 1/3 during the second period.
I know.
That didn't
I
make
was like,
sense.
what the fuck are you doing? Just transfer
Transfer
it all
it
now.
Yeah, just give me the money.
Yeah, now.
It's like they could have done is like transfer the money and it better be done by the end of the game.
Yeah, that would have been better.
Well, he did that to basically say, like, if you don't give me this by this time, I'm going to kill a hostage. And, you know, like if he had just said by the end of the match, it's like, you know, he wouldn't have motivated them sufficiently.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. See, he's the evil mastermind over there.
Kadish is like Zoolander when he's like, who's winning the match?
So the other thing, too, is I was watching this movie, and he's like, I'm going to kill somebody if you don't get done by the first period. He's not fucking lying.
He ain't fucking around.
He off.
Oh my God.
And I love it.
He's like, this bitch has been the most annoying,
Thank
right?
you. Yes, the mayor's wife, who the whole time is like, oh my God, oh my God. And he's like, all right, obviously everybody in the room understands that she's the most annoying person here. Pow! And
Yeah.
I'm just like, God damn.
Yeah.
I was like, yes.
Listen, if a man with a gun tells you to stop crying, stop fucking crying.
Yeah. And this actor who, the only other thing I know him from, which is probably stupid, he's in a ton of things, but Sin City, he's the bad guy that goes up against Bruce Willis in Sin City. He's a freaking awesome bad guy.
He really is.
He's perfect for this movie.
So you're talking about Powers Booth, who, you know, R.I.P., you know, he's passed away since then. But, you know, he was in Deadwood. He's been in like so many different things. He was in Tombstone.
Okay.
Yeah. And originally they wanted James Woods for that role, but James Woods was like, this is a stupid script, and so he passed on.
I could see James Woods in that also.
I can do.
But he's basically Hans Gruber.
I can see lots
Oh,
of
for
people.
sure,
I
yeah.
can see, you know, what was the actor that played Hans Gruber?
Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman.
That would have been pretty funny if he played this role, right?
It's just another Bruce Willis.
So do you guys want to hear something really interesting about this movie?
Please.
All right. So basically, the original writer of the screenplay was a guy named Randy Feldman, and he wrote this to be a parody of action movies. So like he was like, I know we're gonna have the vice president because the president's too important. Our hero is gonna be a fire marshal. The terrorists are gonna take over a fucking hockey rink.
Yeah.
And so like he basically wrote this like ridiculous screenplay, and Jean-Claude Van Damme became attached to it, and he brought on Peter Hyams, who directed him in Time Cop, to come in, and Peter Hyams came on and rewrote the script and made it like a serious action adventure. And Randy Feldman came out and he's like, the only thing they kept of my original screenplay besides like the basis of it was the fight scene between the mascot, because he was like, what's the most ridiculous fight scene I can think
That was
of?
my favorite part of this movie.
The penguin fight scene.
Holy shit. I was over the hill.
When he was fighting the girl in the suit.
Yes, I was blown away. I was watching this movie and I'm like, they're setting it up, and I'm like, they're not gonna, come on, they're not gonna do this. And like the lady that was wearing the mascot uniform first was like a friend of Jean-Claude's, and he's like, oh yeah, it's my friend fucking Tina or whatever. And she goes off. They shoot her in the head and then like hang her on a wall or something
They
somewhere.
put her in a bathroom stall.
Yeah. like on the door though,
Yeah.
right? Because when they open the door, she's like hanging there.
Yeah.
It was
She's
fucked
just
up.
kind of leaning up against
It
the
was
wall.
so jacked up. Anyway, so they shoot her, and then like one of the.
She's probably on the purse hook.
That's what I said. Yeah, they hung her on the hook on the wall.
Pretty gnarly.
Gnarly.
Yeah,
anyway,
I like it.
so the one of the terrorist ladies takes over the uniform so that she can get around the area without security worrying about her or whatever. And then Jean-Claude is like looking for his daughter, and he runs into the mascot, and he thinks it's his friend, but then she's like, haha, it's really me, I'm a terrorist. And she tries to, they have a fight in a kitchen with like freaking, there's French fries in the boiler, in the fryer.
Is a death trap.
It is a death trap. And there's
Well,
like,
most kitchens are.
I was having so much fun watching this fight scene because he was kicking the shit out of that mascot. And the whole time I'm like, he's beating the shit out of a lady right now.
And
It was
he,
so
like,
funny.
rips the eyeball off of the
picks,
penguin.
He picks her up and shoves her into a fan on the overhead, and it rips the freaking eye off the mascot.
Yeah, I mean, the funniest thing is like he's punching the mascot head in the face.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
There's no face there.
There's no face there.
Like the mascot face is like above the person's head.
Because there's one scene where, like, so the penguin has like a beak. And of course, in all these mascot things, you have to have a place where the person can see out.
Right.
So it's the beak. Inside the beak is like where the person can see. He lifts up her neck and shoves hot pepper down the freaking eye hole thing. And she's like, ah, oh my God.
I mean, this is literally the most ridiculous fight scene Van Damme has ever filmed.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Do you think he would have like laid off a little bit if he knew it was a chick in the suit?
I don't know. Maybe. Because he threw her into a fucking meat grinder.
But the mascot doesn't fight like it's a woman. Like it feels like it's some dude in that suit.
Oh, it's
like,
he's throwing down.
She fights him hard.
Yeah. They're doing like, she's punching him in the face and
Plus,
all kinds of stuff.
She has his daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
He's
dark.
not going to be like, oh, I can't hit a girl. No, he's going to fight for his daughter.
Right, but he threw her into a meat grinder.
Right.
And like the best part of the scene, maybe not the best part, but one of the freaking funniest things is like he throws her into the meat grinder turns on for whatever reason, and she's stuck on the what do they call it? The little conveyor belt. And she gets ground up, and you can hear her screaming inside. Ah, no! And all you see is the little penguin feet kicking outside of the thing.
well, wait, it wasn't a grinder. It was the dishwasher, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, it was the
industrial strength
dishwasher.
dishwasher.
Oh, yeah, those are gnarly.
Yeah.
It wasn't a grinder? I thought she was getting ground
up. It was
up.
a dishwasher.
Whoa.
It was like a super hot steam dishwasher.
Oh, she burned to death?
Yeah, with hot water.
Bro.
I've often actually wondered because in the casinos that I work at, in the big industrial kitchens, they have that exact dishwasher.
Yeah.
And they're a conveyor belt. And I've often wondered what would happen if somebody went into one of those.
Hot,
Okay.
boiling, steaming
Yeah, it's pretty
water
gnarly.
coming
Also,
at you?
there's no one in this kitchen, but
Nobody.
everything's still on.
Yeah.
Like the fries are still in the hot oil.
Yeah, there's still French fries in the oil, and
I'm
they're like,
that's a fire hazard,
like there's
bro.
nobody here. They're just gonna like leave the fries there. That's weird, and they're
In
still
the
on.
middle of a hockey game, somebody's got to be in there cooking up fries because people need to eat during the break.
So,
it was a really weird setup.
I wanted to talk about the hockey aspect of this real quick. So
Great.
basically,
I'd love to talk about hockey.
yeah. So basically, the owner of the Pittsburgh Penguins financed this movie.
Isn't that amazing?
Really?
And all the players for the Penguins are actual players from the Penguins at this point in time. And they shot it during the NHL lockout of the 1994-1995 hockey season. So basically the arena wasn't being used for anything. The players weren't doing anything. And so like the owner of the Penguins was like, well, let's make a big commercial for the Pittsburgh Penguins by making like an action movie. And originally like they approached Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Schwarzenegger was like, I'm too busy. I can't do this. Then they approached Stallone, and Stallone was like, this script sucks. I don't want anything to do with it.
It's not good enough for me.
And then they went to Bruce Willis, and Bruce Willis was like, well, I'm already shooting a Die Hard movie. I don't want to shoot another one.
I'm on Die Hard 12.
Well, he was working on Die Hard with a Vengeance at this point.
Great movie.
And so like Jean-Claude Van Damme was their fourth choice for this movie.
He did so good.
That's kind of like a theme
He's
with him, right?
great in this.
Yeah.
And then when he takes the ice,
Oh, so legitimately
they set that up perfect.
yeah, they did, because he was like, oh, I used to play semi-pro or something like that back in Canada.
He played in the
Canada.
Canadian League.
Yeah, in the Canadian League, semi-pro back in the day. It was a long time ago, but I love that. He was like talking shit to the goalie of the team. The guy's like, I'll show you the difference between my game and your game. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Save of the year. Save of the year, Tulliver.
They stopped the frickin' movie in the middle of the third act. Like, shit's going down, the terrorists are killing people, and he's like, no, I got to go play some hockey real quick. I'll be right back. And he gets on the frickin' ice, And he's on the ice for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Just like playing the game, stops a freaking goal from happening, and then he goes out there and decks somebody so he can get back off the ice. I was like, if they were ever gonna like stop a movie in the middle of it and do some ridiculous offshoot, I'd be like, that's stupid. Why would you do that?
What was funny to me?
This is amazing.
What was funny to me, if you watch the movie, is that he's got Tolliver's jersey on, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's supposed to be Tolliver.
Yeah.
So he goes out there, he does all this stuff, punches the dude out, gets, I don't know, does he get kicked out of the game?
Yeah, he gets $1,000 fine and like kicked out.
Right?
He gets a misconduct.
But if the very next scene, they show Tolliver in the goal with his name, the Tolliver jersey.
He came back
on the jersey.
Are you sure? Because they had another
100%.
They had another goalie who the fake Tolliver took his place.
No, I'm 100% sure on that because it just
was a movie mistake.
It was a movie error.
Okay.
Oh, continuity error.
Look at that, Tolliver's back out there. But yeah, it was funny.
Well, another funny thing is, so like, they're shooting this huge arena, and there are some shots where like they have to show like a huge crowd, like a sold out crowd, because it's the Stanley Cup Finals, and the budget was too small to actually get extras to fill like the arena, and so like in a lot of the shots, it's just cardboard cutouts of people in the
Get
seats.
out.
It's like pandemic times.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I had so much fun. The only thing I didn't like about this movie was that freaking snotty ass kid from
The kids were terrible.
Sleepless in Seattle. That little prick.
Yeah.
The whole time he's just dogging his dad for being a fire marshal.
And his sister.
His sister was defending him though.
He changes light bulbs, man.
Yeah, I was like,
he's so shitty to his sister.
oh, because he's shitty to his sister. Yeah, I liked the little girl.
Yeah.
The little girl worked.
Yeah, she worked.
That's the only one I needed.
felt like she was really believable.
Yeah.
But I can't stand it when they have kids in movies and they have to make the kids really shitty.
Yeah.
It's grating.
They made that one boy like way overly
But he
shitty.
stayed. He stayed there like he was told to.
Dumbest fucking thing ever,
Dad,
dude.
I stayed.
Dad.
After all the stuff, I stayed here.
Goddamn,
just like you told me to, Dad.
The arena's empty and a helicopter came out of the roof, but I stayed put.
I stayed here.
Sat in my seat.
The only time he ever listened to his dad in this entire movie was that line.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was really dumb.
Also, don't just put your kids in a arena
By
in
themselves?
seats by themselves. Don't do that.
So there's a part in this movie that really bothered me, just from my writer brain perspective, where you have this character named Hallmark who's in charge of the Secret Service detail that's meant to secure the arena for the vice president.
I was just gonna say this.
And basically the terrorists take over under his watch, and so like he's very motivated to get in there and rescue the vice president. And when he realizes that Jean-Claude Van Damme is in there, against protocol and orders, he goes in to like help Jean-Claude Van Damme. And there's a scene where Jean-Claude Van Damme is like disarming a bomb, and two of the goons, the terrorist guys, find him and get the drop on him. And Jean-Claude Van Damme is able to like MacGyver a compressed air dart gun to kill one by shooting him in the neck. But then like his buddy comes up behind him and has him dead to rights. And Hallmark comes out and kills that guy, rescues Jean-Claude Van Damme. And then he teams up with Jean-Claude Van Damme. But spoiler alert, it turns out that Hallmark is actually secretly working with Powers Booth.
He's a double crosser.
He's a double agent. And so like, I was watching that. I was like, why didn't he just let those guys kill Jean-Claude Van Damme at that point? Or at least like kill Jean-Claude right then and there, as opposed to, going
Playing along with him for a little while.
That felt to me like something they like changed mid.
It does, yeah, because he was up until that point.
How do we make this more interesting on the script? It's like, well, let's make the FBI guy a double agent.
I do feel like they changed it.
It was weird,
halfway
right?
through filming,
Yeah.
because the first half of the movie, this guy's on the outside, he's over the radio, just like the dude in Die Hard, where he's like calling the shots from the radio. And I'm like, okay, so that's a completely satisfying and reasonable plot line for that character to follow, because that's his job. And then they like halfway through, like Katie said, they just switch it, and all of a sudden he's on the bad guys team, and that totally came out of nowhere.
It made no sense.
None. You're like, why is this guy on the bad side anyway? It doesn't make it.
And
whatever.
also, Jean-Claude Van Damme never used that blow dart sleeve gun again.
My favorite freaking part of this, of Jean-Claude's little because he had like a montage of him like MacGyvering shit together. And there was a scene where I was watching this movie, and I was like, I don't know what they're gonna pull out next. This is amazing. I'm having so much fun. Jean-Claude, when confronted by the double agent, pulls out a squirt gun, and the guy goes, "What are you gonna do? Soak me?" And he's like, "No, I'm going to light you on fire." And he freaking squirts him with the squirt gun with a lighter, and freaking turns it into a goddamn flamethrower. I was like, this is amazing. I had so much fun with that scene. It was so freaking hilarious. And he just lights the dude up. Dude goes running away. I was just like, that's amazing. Yes, turn the squirt gun into a flamethrower. a fire marshal will be like, yep, that's a great idea.
Yeah, I like the fact that Jean-Claude Van Damme, so like, you know, he's not a Royal Canadian Mounted Police. He's not a French legionary. He's a fire marshal. And this movie opens up with like a flashback to like him, you know, rescuing a little girl from a fire and being like forgotten about by his like fellow firemen, where he's like, I've been here, come get me.
I'm here.
And like he has like PTSD from that, so he like quits the fire department to become a fire marshal. And at some point, like throughout the movie, they keep saying like, this guy knows his stuff. He's obviously like a very well trained fire marshal.
He knows his stuff about fires.
Fist with your toes.
Well, he can defuse bombs, right?
I want to know what part of fire marshal training comes with defusing C4.
I don't know.
You don't know.
I like that scene where he's like, this is the most powerful explosive in the world. And the guy's like, I know what that is. I planned it myself. No detonator, no kaboom. And he's like, everybody's an expert. And he freaking like throws something at him or something.
Well, then like
that's when he uses the blowgun.
He killed with the blowgun.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then like when his buddy shows up, he turns around and he's like, this is the most powerful.
He does the same thing twice. He tries to fool the next guy. I love this movie, man. I had such a great time with it. It was so funny and goofy, but also like it took itself seriously in the right parts. Like when the bad guy was killing people, they weren't pulling any punches. That was not comedic in any way.
Yeah.
He was just like straight up murdering
He
people.
was straight up murdering people.
Wow.
Yeah, as his henchmen play Doom on their like portable PC computers.
What this movie needed was some hot chicks.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I could do that.
There's no hot chicks in this movie.
We forgot to mention the dude who goes and kidnaps the chef's wife.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, pink frilly shirt guy.
Yes, that was amazing. I was watching that scene, you know, and he's sitting there and he's like, hey, do you have any cookies? He's like, you kidnapped me and now you want me to feed you? And he's like, well, yeah, because I have a gun and I want some cookies. Yeah. He's like, well, I don't have cookies, but I do have Fig Newtons. And I was like, I was laughing about that. I'm like, I just would have shot her.
Dude, that one henchman guy, like he's wearing like this weird like tuxedo prom pink frilly shirt underneath like a black leather jacket, and the entire time like throughout this movie he keeps showing up to like fuck shit up for like the authorities. Like he'll like use a bazooka to like blow up cars or like whatever. And every time he came on screen, I turned to Judah. I was like, why is he wearing that shirt, man?
Because it's awesome. He just came from prom. Okay, can we talk about the final death scene of Powers Booth when the helicopter is slow motion?
And they're locked eyes with each other?
God. They go back and forth between Powers Booth, and the helicopter, and Powers Booth, and the helicopters is a little bit lower, and Powers Booth, like they go back and forth like 7 times.
Jean-Claude is on the roof watching it happen, and they lock eyes at one point, and Powers Booth looks over at him as he's falling.
and the helicopter remains completely perpendicular.
Yeah.
Like it's on a cable or
Falls
something.
at a perfect 90-degree angle.
Yeah.
But it was a straight ripoff of Hans Gruber's death.
It was.
Yeah, it was.
It really was.
Inside a helicopter. And when it hits the ice, it just blows up and doesn't crack the ice at all.
No, nothing happens to the ice. It just blows up. And the kid that's sitting in the stand because he didn't leave his seat, totally fine.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous, dude.
I stayed here the whole time, Dad. I did what you told me.
I hated that kid, man. He was so annoying the whole time.
Powers Booth and his like blonde mustache and wig.
Oh, yeah,
Couldn't
when he puts
recognize
on the
him.
disguise.
Oh, that's right.
He puts on a mustache.
He's trying to get away.
And he's like, well, I got more than a mustache. No one's going to know it's me.
Nobody
and
recognizes
nobody
me.
does. Except the little girl sees the stamp on his hand.
That's
and
him.
that's how she knows it's him.
I love it, dude.
Yeah, she couldn't pick him out of the crowd, but she was like, "Oh, I recognize that stamp."
I know that hand.
Yeah. Gosh dang it, dude. This movie
The
is
setup and
hilarious.
payoff is amazing in this.
It's great.
Yeah.
Dude. I have a ton of fun. All right.
Well, it's funny because I absolutely hate Peter Hyams, the guy who wrote and directed this movie. I mean, other than Time Cop and Sudden Death, he's directed some really terrible films like The Relic, End of Days, A Sound of Thunder, which is one of the worst movies
Those are
I've
all
ever
amazing
seen.
movies. What are you talking about?
And he also, for some weird reason, he insists on being his own cinematographer. So like his movies are always lit very badly, and I don't know why like people keep letting him do both jobs because he's not good at either of them. But I think out of all the movies I've seen of his, Time Cop is the best. This is probably the second best.
Time Cop is amazing.
Time Cop is good. Do you
Remember that time in Time Cop?
Score for Sudden Death.
Yeah.
Yes.
I actually like Lionheart a little better.
Okay.
What did I give that one? 3?
Yeah.
Is that what I gave it? 3?
I think so.
So I'm gonna go 2.5 stars for Death and Warrant.
Do you have a favorite moment? A moment that really stuck out to you?
No.
Okay.
It was just one of those movies. It was all I could think of when I was watching this movie was like, this thing's just like a weird ripoff of Die Hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like in Die Hard, I like a lot better. So, but it was fun. It was a cool Jean Claude Van Damme movie, and it is what it is. You just gotta kind of like just get into it and enjoy it for what it is, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, 2.5 stars. I like it.
It was Die Hard at a hockey rink.
It was Die Hard in a hockey rink for sure.
It had some great humor.
I love hockey.
Yeah.
I've turned into a full. I'm even watching hockey when my team's not even in it right now.
Yeah.
Go
He keeps texting me. He's like,
Are you watching
this game?
Did you see that game the other day?
I did. When are
we all?
It was like 8-4 in the middle of the second period.
I know. We were watching something else for the show this week.
We all got to go to a hockey game.
Yeah.
We need to go.
Yeah.
Get some tickets.
But yeah, you know what? I'll give it an extra half star for hockey.
Okay.
3 stars.
3 stars.
I accept that.
All right, Jude.
Okay.
Final thoughts. Favorite moment. Give it a rating.
Favorite moment is all of the hockey.
Okay.
And then also the flashing between Powers Booth and the
As they're falling.
as the helicopter is falling. It's
In slow motion.
The cinematography is amazing. All of the setup and payoff throughout the whole movie is it's just executed so great. I had the most fun watching this. I was screaming as though I were at this game.
Mm-hmm.
I was upset when they ruined the game. I was totally invested, and I was like, "It's a shootout! We're fucking tied! It's a Stanley Cup! Oh shit! I had a great time. This is 5 Stanley Cups for me.
This is a 5-star movie?
Fuck off! I said what I said.
5 stars.
I had so much fun watching this.
Okay.
If you like hockey and you like JCVD,
Jean-Claude Van Damme?
like this is the perfect movie for you.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
This is not my favorite Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, but this is the most fun I've had watching a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie in a long time.
Okay.
5 stars for fun.
Damn.
Okay.
All right. Kadish.
All right. I don't like Peter Hyams as a director or a cinematographer. In fact, the only reason he agreed to do this movie was because he wanted to buy a new house. So this movie was originally supposed to be a parody, and I think that they actually made the original script into a movie called Welcome to Sudden Death in 2020. I'll have to do some research into that, but that's what I read. And Jean-Claude Van Damme, when he came in, he turned it into a serious action movie as opposed to a action comedy parody type thing. So, overall, yeah, it's a Die Hard ripoff. It's a decent movie. Powers Booth is good in it. A lot of weird choices in this film, but probably the greatest fight scene I've ever seen between a man and a sports mascot. I mean, that throwdown with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Icy. Epic.
Yes.
Epic. One of the best fights I've ever seen Jean-Claude Van Damme pull off.
Yes.
And I've seen him pull off some really amazing fights. So because of that fight scene with Icy, I would say that this movie is a standout for me, but I can't give it anything more than
We're all over the
2
place.
hockey pucks out of 5, I guess.
This is a solid probably 3.5 for me. I'm with Jude. I had the most fun with this movie this week. Lionheart was fun, but and it's because of my favorite moment in this movie was the mascot fight scene in the kitchen. I was like, I can't believe this is happening in front of my face. This is amazing. I had so much fun with it. And when I watched the second time, it was even better because I noticed the different moves that he used. The second time I watched it is when I noticed that he poured hot pepper down the freaking mascot's mouth to get into the person's eyes. And I was like, this is amazing.
And what's funny is, it's a woman in this big bulky suit, and she's picking up Jean-Claude and putting him on a table and dragging him down and just manhandling the guy.
I loved it, man. It was so much fun.
Around.
Yeah, it was great. I would highly suggest, if you're a fan of Jean-Claude, if you're a fan of hockey, if you're a fan of action movies.
Do you guys remember the big bulky chick from Double Impact? Mm-hmm. That to me, I was like, okay, that's the type of woman who could go toe to toe with Jean-Claude. The one in the penguin outfit didn't seem all that muscular or bulky to me.
I think female Brian Thompson could have taken him
with her chin.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Hit her with her chin. Yeah,
she was hot. What are you talking about?
You're drunk, dude.
I smashed the shit out of her.
How do you have reverse?
Yeah.
What?
Are you sobering up now?
Reverse beer goggles?
Because when you were drunk and watching it, you were like, oh, yeah, you guys are right. She's kind of funky. Anyway, This was a great week. I love Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Me too.
If you guys are out there on social media, if you're a fan of our podcast, please hashtag Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Jean-Claude Van Damme rules.
I would love it if that started getting some traction. We got some people talking about it.
We'd love it if Jean-Claude Van Damme actually watched.
I've been dropping my hints because usually, if you guys don't know, when we
That's the day we get a bunch of blow on the show. We all have to start practicing splits and do the whole interview doing splits.
LVPD, please don't listen to this podcast.
I can see that already. But no, it's okay, wife. It's for Jean-Claude Van Damme. I'm gonna do some blow today. That's all right.
Yeah.
She
Anyway.
totally understands.
So I've been, like, normally, sometimes how we get our interviews is I'll reach out to these people on Instagram and we become friends, and then I drop the, like, hey, would you like to come on the show? Here's an example of somebody else we've had on.
He's ignored you completely.
He's watched the videos.
He has.
He has.
I
So
don't think he's impressed.
I don't know. I've tagged him in some videos and he's watched them. I can see because I can see the list of people who watched the video, and I'm like, okay, all right. So I'm almost there. I'm working on it, guys.
You
I'm
little
working on it.
motherfucker, you.
Him and Momoa, we've been circling for years.
Yeah. So Jean-Claude Van Damme is one of my favorite weeks of the year. I look forward to it every single time. I can't wait to sit down and watch Jean-Claude Van Damme
It's one of
movies.
our favorite times.
Yeah.
So like when we sit down to plan out our episodes, we're always like, ooh, there's Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, Jean-Claude
episode.
Van Damme's around the corner. It's Jean-Claude Van Damme and Retro We Watch.
Yeah.
Those are the two ones that I look forward to the most each
And
year.
August Bites.
And August Bites. Yes, that's right. August Bites is awesome too. We have good summers, huh?
Yeah.
We need something for July. June, July, and
Well,
August
we always
Bites.
do like something patriotic in July, don't
Well,
we?
we usually do Jurassic July, right?
do.
No,
No, it's
Jurassic June.
We did Chuck Norris movies last July, right?
Did we?
Yeah, those were terrible.
Yeah,
so
to,
bad.
Really
to
were.
celebrate America's independence.
Anyway, all right, guys. If you're a fan of the podcast, please like and subscribe to the video. Share it with your friends. If you're a fan of Jean-Claude, we're fans of his too. So hop on over here.
From Porkajal.
From Porkajal. We had too much fun. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching the podcast. Matt Vader, where can they find you on the socials, bud?
Porkajal?
I'm not there. At Vader74 on the stuff.
Trying to find Porkajal on the map.
Yeah. I'm fucking drunk.
Jude, where can they find you at?
You can find me at I am Juju on Instagram and on TikTok.
Matthew Kadish.
You can find me at Matthew Kadish, Kadish on Twitter. KadishBooks.com takes you to my Amazon page. And please leave us a rating if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts. We're trying to get 200 of those in order to get verified by Rotten Tomatoes as actual movie reviewers. So anything that you can do to help us out in that respect would be greatly appreciated.
All right, everybody. That's it for the podcast. Thanks for being here. If you're new here, please hit that thumbs up and subscribe because we have a ton of other content. And for the month of June, we also have a new interview coming out every Wednesday. This coming Wednesday, who is it? Joe Flanagan, I think, is the next one in line. So we have Joe Flanagan from Stargate Atlantis. We interviewed him, and we had a ton of fun with that. And C, that's right. Yeah, he's in C as well. And we have a ton of other interviews coming out through the month of June. So stay tuned for those. We've talked to a lot of really, really cool people, and we're so happy to be able to present those to you. They've been a long time coming. All right, that's it.
And if you're still here and you haven't hit that thumbs up button, what are you doing? Please.
Yes, and subscribe.
Yeah, if you're one of the riches, send us money.
You need to chug that shit, dude.
Richie.
I don't know if I can. All right, everybody. Stay salty. Adios.